There is a legend about Aurangzeb. He sends 1,000 soldiers to Ellora. Aurangzeb orders the battalion commander. He says,
"Destroy the Kailasa Temple!"
Inshallah.
3 years pass. The commander is back defeated. Commander reports,
We have struck off a few noses, damaged some faces, but the temple structure remains broadly intact.
Not enough.
the Mughal emperor and his soldiers learn their lesson the hard way. The place was never built. It was carved from a cliff. You cannot pull down a mountain. You can only scar it. This is not a temple built upwards. It's a mountain carved downwards. I'm Sarvajit and welcome to India's Golden Age podcast. Subscribe if you want to understand India's first golden age and the forces shaping its second. Today we talk about a monument so audacious that people still ask if aliens built it. Cut to early 19th century, Baroda, Gujarat. Archaeologists dig and recover copper plates over 1,000 years old. The Sanskrit inscriptions credit King Krishna I of the Rashtrakutas with building a temple. Rashtrakuta records describe it as so wondrous that even the gods were astonished. Despite the evidence, conspiracy theories abound. Some say the Kailasa Temple must have been built by the aliens. Others insist it required foreign light-skinned Aryan outsiders. These myths survive because the truth is harder to accept. Indian civilization reached a level of skill and ambition that had no equal at that time. Ancient Indians had the skill, patience, and confidence to carve living rock into architecture, as seen in Mortar caves, Ajanta, Elephanta, and the Pallava Pancharathas. The Kailasa Temple is a culmination of long rock-cut traditions executed at a scale the world had never seen. It was a proof of Indian genius, Rashtrakuta genius. At its peak, their empire stretched from Karnataka to central India. The Rashtrakutas were a dynasty so confident in their skills, so bold in their imagination, that their king Krishna I stood atop the mountain and proclaimed,
We can do a whole lot better. Let us carve this mountain into a prayer.
Let us travel to the Ellora complex that contains 34 caves. At Cave 16, the incredible Kailasa Temple erupts from the stone. 2-story gopuram, rock-cut bridge, 70-foot pillars, massive stone elephants at the base, carved as if the elephants were holding the monument itself. Inside the temple, a garbhagriha houses a massive Shivaling. Mythology crawls on the walls. Most monuments are built up brick by brick, stone by stone. Like the pyramids, the Kailasa paradigm is not about construction. It is about subtraction. Carved upside down from a single basalt cliff, more than 90 feet high, formed at least 60 million years ago. Michelangelo once said, "This sculpture is already in the marble. I just remove what isn't needed." King Krishna I proved the same about mountains. He might have said,
The temple is not in the mountain, not on the mountain. The temple is the mountain, turned upside down.
Indeed, my king.
Now let's get to the question that unsettled everyone. Rocks. The Rashtrakutas removed 200,000 tons of basalt. That is a lot of stone. Enough material to build a small city. But most of the quarried rock is unstraced. Some argue the rock was reused elsewhere, possibly. But moving that volume would require 4,000 truckloads today. Imagine doing it with oxen and wooden carts in the 8th century. Others hypothesize that the rock was pulverized and scattered for roads, for plaster, but the firm evidence for such hypothesis is missing. The temple is not the only miracle. The material movement is equally stunning. Kailasa's construction began with vertical trenching on 3 sides to isolate the core rock. Let us imagine artisan Devika. Her father is a master sculptor in the service of Krishna I. A father might have said,
One error and the mountain wins. A generation's work is destroyed.
He then paused for a moment and added,
You break a wall, it stays broken. The risk involved makes this project thrilling, terrifying.
There is no consensus on the construction timeline of the Kailasa Temple. Some historians believe its completion within 18 years, while others believed it unfolded over multiple generations, possibly beginning against Raja Danti Durga and continuing after Krishna I. Yet, if the same master builders who worked on the Virupaksha temple were involved, construction of Kailasa largely within a single reign becomes plausible. While basalt is difficult to carve by hand, silent blasting methods like hydro expansion using wooden wedges may explain how large volumes of rock were removed within decades. For a Shiva devotee, nothing could be more profound than carving Shiva's cosmic abode, the axis of the universe, within one's own state. It is as if Krishna I proclaimed,
I don't just worship Lord Shiva, I will give him a second home in my kingdom.
Om Namah Shivaya.
There is a Marathi folklore about Kailasa. It goes like this. The Rashtrakuta king falls gravely ill.
If the king is cured, I will build a Shiva temple.
He will be my queen.
Once the king heals, the queen shares her resolve in the court.
I will not eat until I see the shikhara of a Shiva temple.
Your Highness, that will take years.
The queen weakens by the day. The king panics. Kokasa meets the king in private. Kokasa is perhaps an architect or perhaps a madman with crazy ideas. He tells the king,
Give me 1 week. I will carve from the top of the cliff. The spire will appear first.
The story goes that the queen sees the spire, breaks her fast, survives. As you walk the corridors, the clarity of mind that conceived Kailasa becomes evident. Elephants, drainage channels, rainwater harvesting systems, bridges, and galleries, all carved from one stone, guided by one plan. Let's take the drainage system as an example. Rainwater is guided through hidden channels into a storage tank. Kailasa has never flooded for centuries. Kailasa is narrative architecture made to read while moving. Every wall has a new story that insists on being read. Shiva as a lover, ascetic, destroyer, dancer, Vishnu, episodes from the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, goddesses, the works. One interesting detail is that there are women everywhere, tucked into corners, queens, artisans, goddesses. It seems as if a civilization is describing itself slowly, carefully. A civilization which understood time better than we do. The temple, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is a great example of multi-generational thinking. Master sculptor shows his daughter, Devika, the panel he is carving.
See the ankle? Feel the stone's grain. One wrong strike and the god's foot would have been severed.
Devika nods and says,
Lots of work left, father. Maybe my grandchildren will be giving the finishing touches to the temple.
one vision stretching across 4 generations. This is what we have lost as civilization, the patience to build across lifetimes. Today we want disruption, speed, things to happen at a click. So here's the question. Are we building anything for the next era? Kailasa was export-grade beauty, studied and adapted across Asia. A Baroda copper plate records in awe. The gods flew over the temple and said, "This cannot be made by mortals." Even Krishna I reborn would marvel and perhaps say,
Oh, how was it that we built this marvel in my past life?
Kailasa is not just a majestic monument. It's also a provocation of sorts. I can almost hear Krishna I asking, if this was possible then, what does a truly ambitious next golden age of India look like? If this episode made you think or dream, subscribe. To further explore India's first golden age, read my upcoming novel, Dhruva Devi. Have you ever visited Kailasa or do you intend to? Comment below. Until next week, stay curious, build for the future. Jai Hind.